No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a revolver.
If they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
How do you know?
It was most likely you'd be dead.
That's what I thought too, man. I really don't know.
Captain, you're not going to believe this one.
I can't believe it either. You're right. I've already heard the story. I can't believe it.
But as would later be revealed, Ryan was telling the truth. In the world of true crime, there are stories that shock us, stories that engage us, and stories that make us question the very institutions meant to protect us. Today, we delve into the heart-wrenching case of Ryan Waller, a young man whose life took a horrific turn on that fateful Christmas night. In 2006, 2 lives forever changed, a shocking injustice, and the dark side of law enforcement. This is the story of Ryan Waller. Let's start by getting to know Ryan Waller. Born in Knoxville, Tennessee, 1988, Ryan was a young man with a passion for music, especially the guitar and rap. He had dreams, just like any of us, and he was madly in love with his girlfriend, Heather Kwan. On that Christmas night in 2006, Ryan and Heather had planned to spend a quiet evening together, alone in their living room. Little did they know, their lives were about to take a devastating turn. As they heard an unexpected knock on their back door, they never imagined what awaited them on the other side. 2 intruders forced their way into their home, leading to a violent struggle that left both Ryan and Heather shot and critically injured. The intruders fled, believing their victims were dead, leaving behind a scene of horror. The following Christmas Day, Ryan's absence at a family dinner raised alarm bells for his parents. They rushed to Ryan and Heather's home, desperately trying to get answers, and phoning the police for a welfare check. Here's where the story takes a troubling turn. The police arrived, but delayed entering the house, despite seeing a body through a window. Ryan's family waited anxiously, not knowing if their son was alive or dead. Why the inexplicable delay? When the police finally entered the house, after obtaining a search warrant, they found a severely injured Ryan and the lifeless body of Heather. The initial assumption? A case of domestic violence. They placed Ryan under arrest, still failing to offer medical attention. Once Ryan was at the police station, the nightmare continued. He sat in the investigation room, battered, bloody, and barely coherent. The camera rolled as a detective began questioning him. Ryan's appearance was beyond shocked. One eye was dark, swollen, and bleeding, almost as if someone had brutally punched it. Unbeknownst to the police, it was the result of a gunshot wound.
Okay? They shot you with a revolver in your eye.
Yes. And that's
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a
If
revolver.
they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
How do you know?
It was most likely you'd be dead.
That's what I thought too, man. I really don't know.
Okay?
For over an hour, the detective pushed for answers, treating Ryan as a difficult suspect rather than a victim in need of immediate medical attention. In this haunting video, Ryan's moans of pain and exhaustion echoed through the room. He struggled to understand the simplest questions and couldn't provide coherent answers.
The highest grade you went through school?
I don't know.
You don't know the highest grade you went through?
8th?
8th grade? Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Do you have a GED?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Oh, you're not going to go home right now.
Ryan's confusion deepened, and he displayed signs of distortion. He couldn't remember what had happened during the break-in. He couldn't recall completing high school or even basic details about his girlfriend, Heather. It was as though a dark cloud had descended upon his mind, erasing his memory and clarity. At one point, during the interrogation, the detective inquired about the injuries to Ryan's face. Initially, Ryan claimed not to know what had happened. Then, he suggested that Heather had accidentally hit him. But as the detectives persisted, Ryan's account spiraled into a confusing narrative. He began mentioning individuals who weren't present, forgetting even the identity of his roommate. It was a disturbing descent into a world of confusion. As the interrogation reached its halfway mark, Ryan's story began to take a semblance of coherence. He spoke of a man named Richie Carter and Richie's father, who, according to Ryan, had come to their home armed with bow and arrows. Ryan even revealed that he believed he had been shot in the eye. However, the detective remained skeptical and seemed reluctant to believe much of what Ryan was saying.
I don't know. Just ask me anything and I'll tell you the truth. Just ask me.
Well, I'm trying to, and you're not even coming close to the truth.
Go ahead, ask me.
What happened with you and Heather last night?
Her dad came and shot the house.
And shot her.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad. Now, Richie is her dad?
Mm-hmm.
Or Richie's her brother?
Yeah, her dad.
Her dad shot her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
I tried to go back to sleep.
After you've been shot
Mm-hmm.
in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know enough to call 911.
Mm-mm.
Why did you call 911?
Because I was just trying to go to sleep. That's it.
You just saw Richie's and his dad shoot your girlfriend, and you just felt like you needed to go to sleep?
Something like that. I don't know, man. I really don't.
Ryan, look at me.
After a grueling interrogation session that yielded no concrete information, the detective finally requested a look at Ryan's eye wound. As he leaned in, his shock was evident. Ryan had indeed been shot in the eye. The detective muttered, "Be right back," and called for emergency services to transport Ryan to the hospital.
Were there guns around?
This kid Eric did it. I don't know how he did it exactly. I might have been shot. I don't know. I really don't know.
While you waiting on
I don't know.
Well, it looks like it went right through, huh?
Yeah, it might have. I don't know.
By then, over 6 hours had passed since Ryan was first discovered at his home. The precious time that could have saved him was lost. Ryan's life hung in the balance as he was rushed to the hospital. His condition was critical due to an infection that had spread to his brain. The physician explained to Ryan's father, Don, that the delay in medical intervention had allowed the infection to take hold. One of the bullets had entered Ryan's face and become lodged behind his eye, causing severe swelling in both the eye and the brain. Initial injuries included bullet splinters and bone fragments, and his jaw had been broken, a result of his arrest at the house. After spending 35 harrowing days in the hospital, Ryan emerged with the loss of his left eye and a significant portion of his brain. He would suffer from debilitating seizures for the rest of his tragically short life. Friends and family described how he often repeated the same questions and stories, resembling someone with dementia. The Waller family, deeply affected by the trauma and injustice, attempted to sue the Phoenix Police Department for the mishandling of Ryan's case. They believed that had the police acted promptly, Ryan's life might have been spared, and he wouldn't have been left with lifelong injuries. However, The lawsuit never made it to trial. The city of Phoenix filed a motion for dismissal and presented a report by a brain expert, claiming that the delay in medical treatment had made no difference to Ryan's current medical condition. Although the Wallers vehemently disagreed and had their own experts, the lawsuit was dismissed. Justice seemed elusive. Tragically, on January 20th, 2016, less than a decade after the shootings, Ryan Waller suffered a seizure while grocery shopping, leading to a fall in which he struck his head severely. The resulting injury proved fatal. It was a heartbreaking conclusion to a senseless tragedy, one that began with a violent break-in and spiraled into an unjust interrogation, forever altering the lives of all involved. If this story left you as disturbed and outraged as it left us, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stories like Ryan Waller's remind us the need for a just and efficient legal system. Your support keeps these stories alive and helps raise awareness of the quest for justice. Stay tuned for more gripping narratives from the world of true crime.